All right, good morning, everybody. We have Coach Flores here. Please go ahead and raise your hand and we can start with questions. We'll start with Barry.
Good morning, Brian. I know obviously this past offseason you guys extended Jason Sanders and then Jerome Baker during the summer, and then basically you ran out of cap space as far as any other potential extensions. So Mike Gesicki will be an unrestricted free agent, as you know. Is it your hope that Gesicki is re-signed and returns to the team next season?
Those are conversations more for next week. Right now we're focused on the Patriots. It's a tough team, really good in all three phases, well coached, and that's kind of where the focus is today. For me and the team. Obviously we're working on the early down, and obviously some things in the kicking game, and that's really where the focus is, Barry.
Thanks.
Daniel.
Good morning, Brian. I know the focus is solely on, the Patriots, but Jalen has an opportunity to not only pass 1,000 yards, but break Anquan Boldin's rookie reception record. I was curious, as a young receiver, what's the next step for him to not only kind of maintain the consistency that we've seen this season, but have a greater impact on games moving forward?
I think Jalen's done a good job. He's gotten better every day. He works hard. It's important to him. He's tried to just learn more about the position, learn more about defenses, learn more about matchups, and he's really gotten better every week. So, I think his focus and our focus isn't on.
What's the next step for him to not only kind of maintain the consistency that we've seen this season, but have a greater impact on games moving forward?
I think Jalen's done a good job. He's gotten better every day. He works hard on here. Brett, I guess we'll just move on to the next question. Brett, you on there?
Yeah, sorry about that. We'll go ahead and go to David.
Hey, Coach. Sorry, I don't know if I lost you there for a second or lost the connection too. But to follow up on Jaylen Waddle, is it something where you would want to get the record out of the way early, so then late in the game you could just focus on making plays to win?
I think the focus will be trying to move the ball against a good defense. And whoever that is, if it's Jalen, it's Jalen. If it's Mike Gesicki, it's Mike Gesicki. If we're running it, we're running it. Run, play action, screen. It's really to move it effectively and efficiently against a very good defense. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where our focus is, and trying to put together a solid game in all three phases.
And anyone you won't expect at practice either today or this week?
No, I think we're really expect everyone. And a couple of guys will be coming off of the COVID list, so we'll just kind of see what that looks like. But yeah, expect everyone.
Hi, Brian. Following up on that, what was the final determination on Malcolm Brown and whether he'll be coming off IR or staying on there?
He'll be staying on IR.
Brian, I know you don't want to address contractual things until next week. So regarding Agba, how about if I ask you this way? How do you assess his season as a whole? The one of the main aspects of his contributions, I would think, is his ability to bat down passes. Is that something you really stressed going into the season? Was it something that maybe surprised you to any extent? Just if you could describe what you've seen from him.
I mean, I would say one of his best attributes is his leadership, is the way he works, the way he comes to work every day, how important the game is to him, how he supports his teammates, and then his play on the field has been very good as well. So the batted passes, the pressures, how he plays in the run game, I think all of that is, I think he's played well really across the board, and we need another performance, good performance from him this week against a good opponent.
Jim McBride.
Hi, Coach. I'm wondering, I know it's been since September since you've seen Mac Jones live, but I'm wondering, watching the crossover tape, what you've seen from him this season.
I think he's done a very nice job. Good command of the offense, poise, good decision making, and really, I think as an entire offense, I think it's complementary to the skill set of each individual player, run game, pass game. I think Josh has done a great job of kind of putting those guys in good position, to have success. And they've obviously Max at the helm, and they've done a nice job.
Thank you.
Joe?
Well, I wanted to ask you about Xavier Howard. How important do you think his play has been to the team's overall success on defense?
Very important. I mean, I think X has played very well this year. Oftentimes we we'll say, "Hey, X, you cover that guy," and it allows us to do a lot of different things defensively with his ability to cover guys one-on-one, and I think he's done a nice job.
Thanks.
Bob Sochi?
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Bob.
Brian, I want to ask you about the Patriots defense, what you've seen of the characteristics of them overall this season. And along those lines, too, having coached Dante Hightower and Devin McCourty and now scouted them on tape, can you give us an appreciation or an understanding of their importance, their value to changing from week to week what the Patriots do defensively?
Well, I think as a defense, it's tough, it's physical, good situationally. Those guys in the secondary do a good job. I mean, every catch is contested. But specific to High and Devin, obviously I've got a relationship with both guys. A lot of great respect for both of them as players, but more so as people. It's been it's good to watch them kind of continue to grow, continue to lead. They're both very multiple. They do different things. Allow that defense to be multiple. They do a good job as leaders on that team, and overall they've done a nice job defensively.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Travis?
Hey, good morning, Coach. Your opponent on Sunday has traditionally improved throughout the course of the season. You got a chance to see these guys back in September and now preparing for them here in January. Where have you seen the Patriots' biggest strides from week 1 to week 18?
I think they've really improved in every area. Offense, defense, special teams. I think they've dealt with injuries like every team, and other guys have stepped up. And I think they've, I think there's some things that are just, standard operating procedure there. The guys play tough, they play physical, they play discipline. They do a nice job overall.
Daniel?
Hey, Brian, I wanted to ask if, you have talked to Tua, or if not, I guess, what would the message be to Tua after a game in which he kind of struggled a little bit? And, it's the last game of the season. You're trying to end the season on a good note. What is your message to him and kind of rebounding from last week's performance?
I mean, it's we move on to the next play, take it one play at a time, one day at a time, make the corrections, improve, and, go out there and put your best foot forward. And that's the case for him and every player. And that would be my message to anyone who's dealt with a little adversity.
Yeah, and kind of big picture as a whole, coming off of a disappointing result and disappointing outing, I guess, where do you strike that balance in terms of, especially going into the last game of the season, where do you strike that balance in terms of saying, hey, this is what we have to fix, but also saying, hey, maybe there were some good positive things to kind of take out from that game?
I think you always do that, win or loss. There's always some things that you wish you could have done better, some things you can improve on, and you continue to make those coaching points. This was good, let's continue to do that. This wasn't so good, let's improve in whatever area it is, offensively, defensively, or in the kicking game, or from a coaching standpoint. That's really the message every week. And I think our guys take to that. And try to make the improvements, and I'm hopeful we'll see that in practice today.
Thank you.
Barry?
Brian, Rob Hunt has really seemed to play well at right guard. How would you assess how he's done? And I was curious, was it tempting for you and Lem at any point this year to move him to right tackle? Was that a move that you ever were on the brink of making?
No, I think he's kind of found a home there at right guard, and I think he played well, so didn't want to change that or move him. So I think he's done some good things. I think he's still again a young player who's getting better every time he goes out there. I think he's making improvements really on a weekly basis, getting more comfortable with his communication and just understanding how tough physical it is in there for at that position. And I think he's done a lot of nice things.
And one other offensive line question with Liam. Obviously, you've seen him going back to the offseason at multiple different spots. Do you have a feel yet whether he's best left tackle, right tackle, guard? Do you have a sense of that 8 months into this relationship?
I think it's probably still too early to say, hey, he's this, that, or make a definitive. I'll give you a definitive answer on that. I think Liam's a good young player, good young prospect. I think he does really everything. From a preparation standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, he'll give himself an opportunity to, get the most out of his ability. I think that I'm pretty confident that he'll get the most out of his ability, and be a dependable, reliable player for us. Where that is, that's yet to be determined. I think he's played, obviously a few different spots for us this year, primarily at left tackle. I think he's done I've been pleased with a lot of the things he's done there. Obviously, there's room for growth and improvement, but that's the case with any player. So I think we got an opportunity this week to continue to improve, to continue to make the corrections. Look, he's a young player, and we're excited to work with him.
Thanks.
We'll take two more, Joe Shad and then Chris Ryan. Go ahead, Joe.
Flo, how do you view the meaning in potentially finishing, 2 straight seasons with a winning record with a win on Sunday?
I guess I really haven't thought about that too much. Just really kind of focused on, this team this week. Look, it's a tough opponent. So, whether it's offensively, they pose issues, defensively, obviously they do a nice job there. Same thing in the kicking game. It's going to take a great effort by us, a great week of preparation, and to get the result we're looking for. I think that would be great for our team, but it's going to take a lot of hard work.
All right, last one, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Obviously, Bill Belichick's been talked about a lot and his attributes have been mentioned, but I'm interested, are there any particular attributes or leadership style that he has that is under-discussed in your view, and maybe that gained, more meaning to you now that you're a head coach as compared to when you were working under him?
I think Bill is consistency I think that's something that maybe people don't talk about. I haven't been in that building. I think that's something that you see on a day in, day out basis. As far as how the approach, the day-to-day approach, he expects from players, coaches, everyone in the building, and that's you hear the same message really on a daily basis. I haven't been. This is, it's been a while since I've been out there now, out of there. So, I've certainly, probably, grown more of an appreciation for my time there and the things I learned, with more time being there. I think a lot of those things, I try to apply, here on a day-to-day basis. So, Bill's a great coach. But I would say consistency in messaging and is probably the one thing that isn't talked about enough.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, thanks everybody. Thanks, Coach.